Soccer League sees its season end on the biggest stage, the glow of New York City. New York Red Bulls 2 dominated the East all season long, touting the league's top defense and offense. Florian Velo leveled the score in the 74th, while Ryan Mara's 2 saves in the penalty shootout sealed an Eastern Conference championship against Louisville City. Expansion side Swope Park Rangers' West Side Cinderella story continues. Climbing into playoff position in the second half of the season, Chris Tierpak's brace sent 4th-seeded Swope Park past Vancouver. Now only the USL Cup final remains. Welcome to ESPNU's coverage of the 2016 USL Cup Final, presented by Nike.
Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey, one of the finest stadia in the United States. It's the New York Red Bulls 2 welcoming Swope Park Rangers for the USL Cup Final. Hello everybody, joined by former Olympic and World Cup champion Kate Markgraf and Heather Mitz in a moment. I'm Mike Watts. And when you think about these two teams, New York Red Bulls 2, they're supposed to be here. They set USL records for wins and points and goals scored. Swope Park Rangers, maybe they're not supposed to be here. They were 12th in the West in July. They move up to 4th. They play 3 home games in the playoffs. And I think both teams come in here with a tremendous amount of confidence.
Well, as they should, because they're both on extended unbeaten streaks. They both have stingy defenses. They both have a variety of attacking personalities, but they're both missing key contributors to their success. How will that impact tonight's game?
Swope Park Rangers have plenty of attacking options. Let's highlight Chris Tierpak for 6 goals in his last 7 games.
Which is impressive considering he has added defensive responsibilities this season. He excels in his movement in the box to get onto crosses and rebounds. He's a clinical finisher off a service.
Meanwhile, the center forward for New York Red Bulls 2, Brandon Allen, a Rookie of the Year and an MVP finalist.
He really has a knack of being at the right place at the right time, can score in a variety of ways, and is dangerous from distance.
Let's take a look at the starting 11s, and we begin with the Swope Park Rangers. Ever Alvarado is back. Marc-Anthony Gonzalez is available off the bench after injuring his hamstring against Vancouver.
Yeah, this is a team that'll sit back a little bit more. They're organized by Ballo and Jidic. They'll look to hit teams on the counter, looking for the speed of Kelly and Tierpak over the top.
The New York Red Bulls have played 41 different players this year. This is just the second time all year they've played the same starting lineup back-to-back.
Yeah, but I think the key tonight is Derek Etienne on the flank. He's called the Haitian Messi. He is poised in his 1v1s, using skill and craftiness to beat defenders. He is the key in transition for this side.
This trophy is on the line. New York Red Bulls 2 welcome Swope Park Rangers. Fans and teams alike on the field. We meet the coaches when we come back in the USL Cup Final, presented by Nike.
7, James.
Should I be able to hear anything? Can you guys talk to me? I can't hear anything.
No, the other way.
Woo! Yeah.
The first ever meeting between New York Red Bulls 2 and the Swope Park Rangers, the 2016 USL Cup final presented by Nike, is just moments away. Mark Dos Santos, his first season at the helm for Swope Park Rangers, the affiliate of Sporting Kansas City, and the 39-year-old saying this week, you don't reinvent your team in the final 7 days before a championship game. On the other side, another 39-year-old, John Walniak.
Well, this former A-League player has had a tough job this season. With the constant turnover, he has excelled in player and lineup management.
He's a Fordham University alum. So too is Ryan Mara. He makes 2 huge saves in the penalty shootout against Louisville City to arrive to this point, and he's standing by with Olympic and World Cup champion, third member of our crew, Heather Mitz.
Mike, we know the importance of Ryan Mara to this team this season. He's kind enough to join us right now. Ryan, we're moments away from kickoff here in the championship game. You're one of the vocal leaders for this team. What were your words of wisdom for your players?
Mostly just enjoy it. You know, it's hard to get into finals. Put a ton of work into it this year, and go out there, enjoy it, and do the right things. We'll be raising the cup.
Thanks, Ryan. Good luck.
Thank you.
His 5th year as a professional, Ryan Mara, 23 starts for New York Red Bulls 2 this year. Armando Villarreal is the referee, 75 MLS games he's been the central ref. New York in the white and red, Swope Park in the blue and black. Underway in the 2016 USL Cup final presented by Nike. Mike Watts with Kate Markgraf, and New York, the leading scoring and best defending team in the USL this year out of the Eastern Conference, taking on a Western Conference foe for the first time, the 4th-seeded Swope Park Rangers. Tyler Adams at the midfield stripe. Turned over, Dane Kelly running onto it. He glides through and knocked away by Tyler Adams. The defensive midfielder coming back and making the play 25 yards away from goal, and early Swope Park creating a mistake.
Well, that's exactly what SPR is looking for. Frustrating teams by sitting back, sitting in the channels, and try to intercept those passes.
Aiming up the right-hand wing, and Alvarado involved on the defense. Christian Duke continues it the other way, and the Red Bulls take over 40 yards away from goal. Driving up the right-hand side, Velo sends service. Knocked away, Brandon Allen was the target. Lobbed above the top of the 18. Comes to Adams. It's Ayrton who tries to clear it. The Red Bulls keeping the ball, Dan Metzger. And Swope Park taking over before midfield. They would be the lowest seeded USL team to ever win the championship. Here's Chris Tier back. Right wing 20 yards away from the end line. Grant service to the top of the 18. The turn from Kelly, taken away from the ball by Tyler Adams.
And that's the matchup all game long that I want to see. You're going to see SPR trying to prevent ATN from getting on the ball. He is their key transition player. They looked him on the flanks as they build from the back to the midfield up to the top.
First foul of the match goes against Swope Park in the 3rd minute. 0-0 between New York and Swope Park Rangers. Brandon Allen trying to latch on. He's in an offside position 20 yards from the end line. Red Bulls collecting in the back line, and this is a Red Bull team. The philosophy, whether it's Red Bulls 2 or the first team in MLS, they want to pressure the ball when they don't have it, and they want to move quickly when they do. Derek Etienne, the second generation of Etiennes to find his way into a USL Cup final. His father winning the MVP award in 2002. Comes to Tierpak, beautiful night here in New Jersey. Partly cloudy, 58 degrees after a rain-soaked Saturday evening. Couldn't ask for better conditions for the USL Cup final. Touched by Allen, played ahead by Bezecourt. Red Bulls possessing early, comes to Etienne. Apia starts the other way for Swope Park. Mara way off his line, and he kicks it away.
Now, Mara likes to start a little bit higher, trying to be proactive in the beginning parts of the game, and also respecting the speed of Dane Kelly, because if he gets behind long, he's very dangerous on those breakaways.
Thrown in by Grant. Dane Kelly moving towards the corner flag, and Red Bulls defense up to task again. Kevin O'Toole's going to be asked to do a lot on that left-hand wing. The academy product for Red Bulls 2, getting some serious time late in the year. Tierpak trying to find Kelly, who is offside.
Get to see a little bit of training ground play, excellent movement off the ball. You can see they're trying to work a three-player combination, almost like a wall pass. Dane Kelly just didn't watch the line and get himself in an onside position.
Ryan Mara to kick away for New York. The team that won the regular season title this year with a league record in wins and points. And Kate, it's hard to keep up that level of play for an entire season, but Red Bulls really never dipped all that hard, and they come into this game on a 13-game unbeaten streak.
Well, part of that is when you have a 41-player roster, they're all trying to get to the big league.
Velo, pass for Allen, stripped away. Comes to Metzger, trying to combine with Allen, who turns at the top of the 18, and Jidic making his first defensive play at center back for Swope Park.
That is better play from the Red Bulls. We get to see there's points that you were talking about. Look at the goals scored, 61 this season, and it's partly because they have the MLS organization that they're tied to. They always have that constant motivation of, if they play well, this is where you could be possibly the next week.
Ball comes to Tyler Adams, who's gotten some experience at the MLS level, nodded towards Allen, away from Velo. Dane Kelly trying to combine on the break, out for a throw for New York, who control in the back. And here's Aaron Long. No player better exemplifies the ability to come to this New York Red Bulls 2 team and earn experience at an MLS level. He's had a great year.
Absolutely, converted center midfielder, asked to play defense in the center of the back, improved his positioning, and he's able to distribute and set play from a deeper lying position.
Metzger. Adams, the 17-year-old. Here's Long again. Drafted in Portland, loaned to Sacramento and OC Blues at the USL level. Signed to the Red Bulls. Was asked to switch to center back. This gets over Pasher, setting up the cross. There's nobody there. That blasted way too far. 8th minute, scoreless between New York and Swope Park.
What a beautiful ball by Tyler Adams, sitting in that pocket in the midfield with a change-of-point ball as the whole entire SBR team is condensed to the right-hand side. He switches the point of attack. Just not a great cross by Velo.
Adrian Zendejas, signed on July 30th, debuted August 27th. He has yet to lose. 8 wins, no draws, no losses. No handball against Etienne. Allen playing it up the left side for Bezecourt. He sends service. Adams was behind. Comes to Tierpak. His back pass will leak out over the touchline, and the Red Bulls will keep possession. Carroll playing to Jim. Now below, Metzger, edge of the area, playing it to Allen, sliding tackle, and no whistle in the 18. Comes back to Adams, and he lost it 25 yards from goal. And Adams slides in at the end of the play and knocks the ball out for a throw.
Good build-up play by the Red Bulls. Excellent movement off the ball, finding the pockets, but look at Omer Jidic with the diving tackle, not deemed a foul. He is up for Defensive Player of the Year with his excellent positioning. You get to see why.
And he had to dispossess an MVP and Rookie of the Year candidate in Brandon Allen. That's one of the best matchups we're going to see all day.
It's an exciting matchup, but you'll see Jidic, he'll end up dropping off a little bit more to compensate for his lack of pace, but he reads the ball so well that he's able to make well-timed tackles.
Duke knocked down Bezecourt, advantage played. It's Etienne, edge of the 18-yard box. He'll go one-on-one. The ball touched out. Dane make it Johnny Grant, rather, at the end line. And the first corner of the match belongs to New York with 9 minutes played at Red Bull Arena.
Well, Etienne, very dangerous on the flanks, comfortable in the 1v1s, earns his team a corner kick, and set pieces is an area of strength for the Red Bulls.
Vincent Bezecourt, 23-year-old, sends it. Lobs out to Dane Kelly, the USL's all-time leading goal scorer, blows a tire. It'll come to Velo, who stripped himself and ahead towards Tierpak. He'll come back to O'Toole, and now Velo, who switched sides to the left now for New York. Bezecourt trying to combine with Etienne. Stripped by Jidic. You can hear the constant heartbeat in this arena being kept down in the South Ward, and both Swope Park Rangers and the New York Red Bulls too really doing well. This kicked away by Ryan Mara, but finding good support, whether it's the Zoo or the Cauldron in Kansas City or the supporters groups for Red Bull coming out. Bezecourt, away by Grant. Comes to Christian Duke, the first ever signing for Swope Park, an expansion team. It's one thing to try and build a team over the course of a season, but they just got better and better, and they reached the final in their expansion year. They're looking to be the second expansion team to ever win the USL Cup. Tierpak chasing, he'll beat O'Toole to the ball. And a whistle against Red Bulls too. It was O'Toole guilty of the foul.
Yeah, O'Toole doesn't agree with that. We get to see a little nifty footwork, and he goes down a little bit easy, Tierpak. Earns himself a call. The referee has let this game go thus far, but Tierpak sold that. I don't think he would have been able to get to that ball because he did have a, Red Bulls did have a covering defender as that touch was a bit long.
And essentially a short corner here for Swope Park. It may present some different challenges than a traditional corner, right?
Absolutely, it's going to be interesting to see. And they're going to be looking for Jidic and Kelly in the box.
Whipped in. Defense up to the task. It'll come out to Duke, bouncing beyond the 18-yard box. And this ball takes a deflection high into the air, bounces down. Tierpak tries to scissor it towards the net. It's still loose. Tierpak dropping it off. Sent to Pasher. Jidic crosses this over the end line from about 25 yards away, and a goal kick for New York. Ryan Mera up for Rookie of the Year consideration a few years ago, and then Luis Robles, 140 consecutive starts for the New York Red Bulls, including today's game against Philadelphia. Appia being swarmed by New York. Able to keep it for Swope Park, and it's Grant. Plays it through and too far for Tierpak, but we can see the speed and the ability to break out from Swope Park.
Absolutely. Well, it's Tierpak in his second gear, basically. He's running, and then the change of speed. And it wasn't a bad idea by Grant to bring him inside to create a channel on the outside so he could place a ball into him, but the ball was just too heavy. But right now, the attack on both sides is just so much on this side, the right-hand side for SPR, the left-hand side. You wonder when Tyler Pasher, the left outside midfielder, is going to get involved a bit more, because they're more dangerous, the Rangers are, when it's a bit more varied in their attack.
Bezecourt. O'Toole, Bezecourt. Plays a square ball. Come out to Ayrton, who's fouled by Below. Whistle far touchline against New York.
Good to see Alvarado. He likes to go forward. He's back from a one-game suspension. Just a bit of a foolish foul by Valo.
Alvarado returning from a suspension. Last time out, he picked up a red card against OC Blues. Didn't play against Vancouver in the conference final. Ayrton tripped up. Come back to Jidic. And here's Zendejas. And as a defender, getting some stability in goal certainly matters. Swope Park didn't have it in the early part of the year, and with Adrian Zendejas, they have it now. He started 8 straight, and he's been tremendous.
Yeah, and they've won all 8 straight since that. Having a goalkeeper that's confident gives you confidence. You start a little bit higher, and you just play honest defense. You go 1v1 a little bit more honest instead. If you're worried about your goalkeeper and being susceptible, you're not going to play as hard. You're actually going to sit back a little bit and really just play tentative, and having a confident goalkeeper allows you to play your true ability.
Chris Tierpak trying to whip it upfield to Dan Kelly. Comes to O'Toole. Appia being pestered by Bezecourt. Off the head of Tierpak, skipping to Aaron Long. O'Toole crossing midfield for New York. Bezecourt met by Appia.
Bezecourt's movement in and out of those pockets, right in behind the midfield of SPR, is critical in keeping play and keeping the ball moving.
Bezecourt 88 and white. Etienne. Dan Metzger. Coming back on the ball, lifting it towards Bezecourt. Trying to shoulder away Jidic. Jidic wins the battle.
Jidic again in the box with a critical interception for a dangerous opportunity, averting the potential danger.
New York, 2 highly dramatic penalty kick shootouts their last 2 games, knocking off Rochester and Louisville. Long ball played forwards, and Zendejas will catch it. And a little infighting there with Valo as well in the 18th minute. Swope Park, an 8-1 goal differential, dominating a Western Conference many thought would be the better conference this year. Comes to Allen. Etienne, top of the box, fires, oh, he scored! 18th minute, like father, like son. Derek Etienne Jr. puts New York Red Bulls 2 in front.
The Red Bulls high press forces opponents to make turnovers, and we saw that right there. Tyler Pasher gets the ball, looking for a back pass, gives it up. Etienne ends up being on the recipient at the end of the play. You get to see this. Look at the head up, finds Etienne in the pocket, does a quick little move to get onto his right foot, and the quick release. Look at that. Just a tiny little pocket to work in, and he's able to bend it around Zendejas.
Derek Etienne Jr. inciting Red Bull Arena. 1-0 in favor of New York. Goal in the 18th minute. Etienne from Allen. We spoke about it all week. Derek Etienne could be the guy who changes this game. He could do it again. Lifts it up to Bezecourt, and a diving effort by Zendejas, but this off target. New York Red Bulls are swarming now.
They are swarming now because of the movement of that midfield in between the pockets up front. We get to see Bezecourt almost get on the end of that. Etienne has now pushed himself on the inside, and it's creating a little confusion for the back line of Swope Park. Do they go, do they check? They leave the flank open? They haven't been able to solve the Etienne question.
Appia. Hailing from Westerville, Ohio. Throw for Grant. Comes to Ayrton, stripped. And the Red Bulls breaking out. Velo playing it up the right-hand side. A perfect ball that's kicked away at the last moment. Long run for Ballo. And he keeps it in play, but cedes to the Red Bull back line. The thing that's scary about the Red Bulls, at all levels of their organization, when they score a goal, they're only more resolved to press harder. It's an energy boost for a team that already carries the most endurance at the MLS and USL level week in and week out.
Well, they just get rewarded for their hard work, and they usually dominate teams in the second half because that press gets tiring for the other teams, as well as mentally fatiguing.
Here's Pasher. He's not very fatigued. He hasn't worked all too hard yet. The ball hasn't found him. This, however, will go out for a corner.
Get to see how direct and how vertical Swope Park is when they win the ball. They quickly transition into the offense. And Etienne, we highlighted him in the open. And just a clever player, finding those pockets of space.
Off the head of Velo. Be a second look here for Swope Park. Lobbed long, headed just wide by Omar Ballo.
That's not the first time we've seen reservice by Swope Park, able to get onto the ball, as Red Bulls have not been able to clear it and get another possible opportunity.
Chance of Haitian Messi ringing through Red Bull Arena for Derek Etienne. Allen turned away. Derek Etienne's dad winning the MVP in 2002 for the Long Island Rough Riders. This leaking out over the end line. A goal kick for Zendejas and Swope Park. The 2016 USL Cup final is being brought to you by SiriusXM. Labatt's Blue and by Nike. 23rd minute, New York 1, Swope Park Rangers 0. 18th minute, Derek Etienne scoring from 20 yards away on a curling effort. Nice interplay there. Najem Jidic steps in as Etienne continues to be a monster in all stages of the field right now. Comes to Kelly. Appia going long, Tierpak trying to get behind the defense, colliding with Long, still loose in the box. And Long wins it over the end line, a corner kick. But terrific work against a player who scored 6 in his last 7.
We can see the physical challenge in between these two. Look at the balance of Tierpak, as well as Long to keep his feet. Recall that he has been converted to a center back, which is a totally different role, facing your own goal, trying to run backwards, keep your feet, and clear the ball.
And he's right-footed too for a left center back. Corner coming for Swope Park. It's Ayrton with Pasher close to him. He'll take it himself. And Bezecourt trying to sprint out. Pasher will win it. And back to Grant at midfield. And now Zendejas in the Swope Park defensive third. Another long ball, this aimed for Kelly. Mara coming off his line and using all of his 6'4" frame to keep it from Dane Kelly. Long serving for Etienne. New York working the near side now. Velo has Bezecourt tucking in left side, and his first touch let him down.
Bezecourt could have gone straight to goal on that one.
Turned over to Velo, dances into the box, puts on the moves, and Zendejas knocks it away, swiping it out. Velo getting the ball 20 yards from net, trying to do it all himself. He nearly did.
He's had an impressive start. We get to see this. Picking up the ball, looking at that little 1-2, 1-2, separates himself in order to get his feet right. And a good save by Zendejas.
Bezecourt. Swope Park successfully defends the corner in the 26th minute. 1-0 to New York. Bezecourt, Etienne. He may have a go at this. Grinded from both sides. Tierpak the help defense. Velo trying to win it away. He did, but a foul as Tierpak slid down with Velo between his legs.
That's a second foul from Velo here. Get to see Etienne driving in the center, trying to find the pocket of space. Jidic again with the tackle. But the thing about Jidic is he's dropping off a little bit early, and because he drops off early on the play in anticipation, he's actually creating a gap in a pocket that the Red Bull players are then sitting in.
Jidic pressured again. Swope Park hailing from Kansas City, Missouri. Swope Park, a 1,805-acre crown jewel to the Kansas City park system. Home to FC Kansas City, as well as the training facility for Sporting Kansas City. Carroll trying to complete the clearance. Comes out to Duke wearing the captain's armband for the Rangers. Tierpak glides ahead, dishes to his right. Grant, and that's knocked out. Johnny Grant has to do a lot against Vancouver and just played an excellent game according to Mark Dos Santos, that left back position.
Yeah, he did have an excellent game, and he could have been a bit more dangerous there had the service from Tierpak been in front of him and not behind him. But again, it's very Tierpak driven, as well as looking for Dane Kelly over the top. Can they get Pasher involved in the play?
Bezecourt, now Allen, able to keep it with the help of Velo. Bezecourt couldn't keep his feet as Grant, quickly pressured by Allen, now by Bezecourt, forces the turnover. It's Metzger. And now Allen, the MVP candidate in the United Soccer League, 15 goals in the regular season. Etienne, Allen, left-footed cross, brought down. It'll come to Velo, giving it back, and it's just wide. Zendejas made himself big, and Red Bull can't cash in.
Look at the excellent movement to lead up this. Najem, the outside right back, finds himself in, builds up a give and go, and just the angle is too tight. Zendejas forces the play a bit early. Another excellent look, and then immediately the other way. Swope Park Rangers go in attack.
Red Bulls 4-2 shot advantage. Zendejas has come up big a couple of times to keep Swope Park very much in the match. If you're Marc Dos Santos, what you want to see after extended Red Bull possession is getting back upfield quickly. The turn, Apia deflects off of Tyler Adams, a corner for Swope Park.
Yeah, we haven't said the midfielder's name very much, Apia or Ayrton, who likes to feed the attacking threats of Tierpak and Pasher. If you're an SPR fan, you're looking for those players to get more involved in the game.
Third corner kick by the Brazilian Ayrton. That takes a deflection off a Red Bull head. Looked like Velo, as Omar Ballo, the 6'2" defender, got his head on the ball first. Another corner. Marc Dos Santos saying this week, we need to exploit the areas that Red Bulls leave open.
Look at that, the referee, just a little bit of the pushing and shoving he doesn't like. That's all part of the game. Just doing enough to distract and disrupt the runner.
Ballo there, 81 in the middle of your screen. And he's the target. Comes to Etienne, and this is where the Red Bulls might be their most dangerous. Bezecourt using his speed. Pasher catching up and winning for Swope Park. Flag up against Etienne as that ball deflected back to him on the attempted clearance. Turned over by Ballo. Bezecourt seeking Etienne. Comes to Grant. Kelly was bottled up by Carroll. Over Ayrton. Turned over by Velo. It's Tierpak at midfield. And Grant loses it.
Just constantly forcing back passes or back to their center back passing. It's come a bit predictable when Grant's getting the ball in his own defensive third, where he's going to go, which is an easy read then for Bezecourt and Allen and Etienne to jump onto it.
O'Toole, the academy player, putting on the moves. And we spoke with the coaches for both teams. The East doesn't play the West typically in the United Soccer League. These two teams have never faced each other. It's hard to find film, but you would think that's something against any team where you see those kinds of trends and you're able to try and work on those.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the nature of YouTube and the excellent productions by the USL and the YouTube channel and the commentators, they all explain what's going on so well. You get to see, you get to scout. You couldn't do this, even in the beginning of the league. Every year, the production in the foundation, the USL, continues to grow.
And lot of excitement around USL Productions. Articles in Forbes this week. It comes to Etienne, tries to slip it through for Allen. Grant slides in at the final moment. Ball played through, and the whistle from the central referee. Etienne scrapping with Zendejas.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. The whistle was obviously blown. Etienne didn't stop his movement of play. Sometimes a little spice, a little fire, something to get your team motivated.
The play will come back, they'll do this again, and this is a hostile environment tonight.
As it should be. This is a championship game. This is the last game of the season. You want to be the one hoisting that crown. This is a big honor to win this USL Finals.
Although Children's Mercy Victory Field at Swope Soccer Village, the fans at the zoo, I think, right now probably are thinking of things the other way. How the South Ward seems to be approaching the recent call by the referee. It's Tier Pack. O'Toole trying to take on more traveled Tier Pack and is able to find Metzger. Bezecourt, great first touch, lobs it over the top with his left foot, chested down, the turn from Allen. Etienne plays it too far for Velo, and the build-up for New York so teasing, but ends in a goal kick.
Just brilliant build-up. It's really that interchange of movement of the front six that's so impressive, and just too heavy of a pass from Etienne. But right now, if you're SPR, you need to ask more of your central midfielders. Apia and Duke need to shut down those channels, need to put a body on those players. It's too easy to penetrate right now.
The head of Duke comes down to Adams. Velo. It's off against Alvarado and come back to Omar Ballo. 13-0-2 this year when he starts at central defense with Didic. Undefeated, that central defensive pairing, 81 and 55 in blue. Long run for Ayrton, playing Tier Pack, overlapping run from Grant. And lobbed across, looking for Pasher, off the head of Adams. And Swope Park has moments of brilliance. This will result in a corner.
Well, I say Ayrton getting involved, likes to play along, but give credit to the unselfish run of Grant, which took defenders with him, opening up a channel for Tier Pack to cut in, trying to find Pasher on the far side.
This the 5th corner for Ayrton. They've probably been able to serve in 8 or 9 balls off their 5 corners. Swirling out, Tier Pack the header, and that gets over the top. Coming up at halftime, we'll join SportsCenter's Max Bredos. A look back at some of the top moments of the 2016 USL season. Heather Mitz joined by USL President Jake Edwards. Some breaking news about the league coming up at halftime. Let's see Chris Tierpak there with that full 90 headband. A couple of concussions in high school, and he lucked into finding it. It was the first headband he tried, and now he's wearing it all the time. Although I would think that makes headers just a little more difficult. You get used to it, right?
I guess so.
I couldn't play with one of those. Then again, I couldn't play without one either.
You have a massive head, though, let's be honest.
More surface area. Lofted to Etienne. Overlapping is O'Toole, plays it low. Didic clearing it out. Ayrton sliding between Bezecourt and Adams. Pasher lays it up the left-hand side, setting up service that deflects, and yet another corner for Swope Park as they try to really make something good out of it.
Oh, look at Wozniacki is not happy with the referee calls. I actually think that was a good non-call by the referee. Metzger kind of initiated the contact, trying to stop Dane Kelly from going on a quick counter.
Corner for Swope Park. Again, it's Nujem who takes it. And now Etienne off to the races. Grant slides it away before midfield. There was nobody else between the goalkeepers and Dejas and Derek Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne got excited, I think, to have all those acres of space in front of him. Too heavy of a touch. And good position by Jonathan Grant, who I think has had a very good first half.
And he's been asked to do a lot. That's a player that I'm sure Red Bull came into this game planning to attack, a guy who hasn't played much this year. Johnny Grant, 18 games, only 3 starts in the regular season. 90 and blew it right back.
Well, he's needed to grow, and we're seeing him actually grow within the first half of this game. Now they can put a little more body on players, not condense too far central. He's getting caught in a little too close to Jidic.
Velo tried to cut back, comes to Duke, and turned over. Red Bull's into the box, plays it for Etienne, comes loose to Allen! He scores! Brandon Allen, the MVP candidate, makes it 2-0 to the Red Bulls in the 39th minute.
Well, one of the best forwards in the USL, with excellent composure, shows it once again what he's good at. Nujem, the right back, coming in. Look, his head ups the entire time, looking to play. A deflection off of Jidic. But I just like the composure and the tight control in a tight area is the only reason why Allen was able to get his shot off. Zendejas comes out, tried to stop him off the net, but look at that tight touch, able to get his hips around onto his left foot. He can score in a variety of ways. And that close control is the reason why he was able to put that one away.
The word we heard from John Wozniak this week, he's clean. He's a box-type guy, and he's a clean finisher, and he certainly was right there, no doubt about it. That's his 3rd goal of the playoffs.
But what I liked about it is that he wasn't ball watching. He didn't get stuck into the middle. He kind of pulled himself out just in case the ball would have popped out.
Etienne trying to sprint by Grant, drives the byline, drops it off. Allen sends service, bouncing into the 18, comes out to Ayrton, 30 yards from net. He's able to keep it momentarily, nutmegging Tyler Adams. Trying to play Pasher. Red Bulls on the attack again. And this from way outside, lobbed over the net from the right back. And there's a lot of excited Red Bull fans here.
Well, as they should be. Compare this to last week's game against Louisville, where they struggled in that first half, couldn't get out of it. Louisville really took it to them. But credit Red Bulls, and John Wozniak came in at halftime. They changed things around, were able to get back into the game. This is a much different first 45 for this team.
Here's Bezecourt. Now Metzger playing for Allen. Ballo, the end line, did that get out? It did not. This game not being played with video review as this comes towards Bezecourt. Red Bull Arena, the first professional league to try video review in-game, and only here in New York this year. We'll see if it expands moving forward, but not available here tonight in the USL Cup final. Etienne dummies this by, Allen playing him. Tierpak stripping it before Etienne forcing his way back into the picture and pulling Tierpak down.
Etienne just having too much time in that inside channel between Grant and Jidic. No one's putting a body on that. We're going to see Tierpak trying to spin out of pressure, and Etienne brings him down. A bit of a professional foul, preventing the quick counterattack. That fits SPR. Now, if there's any team in the USL that can handle adversity, it's SPR, because remember, they went down to 9 men and still won a game. Team has a load of character, has been through tons of adversity in the beginning of the season, was ranked 12th, you mentioned in the beginning, 2.5 months ago. Been on a 13-game unbeaten streak. This is a team you cannot count out.
although the Red Bulls really bringing some physicality to the match. 7 fouls to 1. They're really making this difficult on a team that, look, the Western Conference had a very good year. Sacramento winning out west. Sacramento may be the team that best encapsulates what the Red Bulls do on the offensive end, but this is a style of play that's just not common anywhere else, and to play on the road for the first time in about a month, having played all 3 of their playoff games at home, Swope Park looking a little shell-shocked here, maybe more than expected.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree to that. Just a little bit slow to react on the defensive side and shifting over the spaces. It's more about defending the spaces. Head coach Dos Santos said, you know, we want to control the game even when we don't have the ball. I don't think they're doing that in the first half. They didn't achieve that objective. Some things will need to be changed in that locker room in the second.
Asher going up the left. Alvarado trying to keep it, and an obvious handball against New York. They were looking for a foul, and Florian Velo just threw his arms over the ball.
Yeah, Velo has definitely been in this game, and that is unintentional, but that becomes quickly intentional. I don't blame him. The space was involved, and Alvarado's coming steaming down. Just a poor area of the field for something like that to happen. And now, almost like a corner kick, a little bit of a different angle. But a left-footed service, so it's going to swing out a little bit.
And it's punched away by Mara. It's the Apia, struggling to deal with the grit of Derek Etienne Jr. Comes out to Dane Kelly, sliding stop. Apia deflecting this off Metzger. Etienne goes down and he scores goals. He's involved on pretty much every attack for New York, and he's also defending 20 yards away from the end line on these set pieces. Minute of first half added time. Red Bulls scoring in the 18th and again in the 39th. Etienne Jr. and Brandon Allen. Tierpak with a full pirouette, launching it towards Ryan Mara, who was decently off his line, although this off the mark, and Mara will handle it with his feet before picking it up. Swope Park try to stymie the press in the second half of play. New York off to a 2-0 lead at halftime. Derek Etienne Jr. and Brandon Allen putting the best team all year long, the USL record holder in wins and points, and goals scored off to a 2-goal lead. We go downstairs. Heather Mitz standing with John Walniak.
Coach, how has your team been so effective in the attack?
Well, we're doing a good job getting after the ball. I think that's where it starts a lot of times. Our reactions to when we lose the ball have been great. So our counter press is, getting us an advantage, and it's, we've had a number of chances, and I think we deserve to be up 2, and our guys are playing great.
What will it take to close out this game in the second half?
Continue to do what we're doing. Don't take our foot off the pedal. Keep pushing. Swope's going to come out and put all they got into it in the next half, in the beginning of the second half especially, and we got to be ready for that and make sure that we don't relax in any moments of the game, and continue to do what we're doing.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
He won the USL for Rochester in 2001. Could he do it again? A reminder that next year at halftime, we'll join SportsCenter's Max Bredos. A look back at some of the top moments of the 2016 USL season. And Heather Mitz will be joined by USL President Jake Edwards for some breaking news about the league. The score at half, Swope Park Rangers 0, New York Red Bulls 2-2.
Hi. Oh, I wasn't sure who I'm throwing all of this back to. Right? Okay. It's welcome back to Red Bull Arena. The score at halftime is 2-0. And, oh, okay. Okay. You'll tell me when that is, okay. Welcome back to Red Bull Arena. The score at halftime is 2-0. The USL season started in March, full of many important and exciting moments. For more on that, we're going to send you to ESPN Bristol, Connecticut for more from Max Bretos.
Hey, Max Bretos here in our ESPN Sports Center studios. The USL had some incredible moments and accomplishments in 2016. So many, it's hard to mention them all, but we've trimmed down to some of the 10 best, including unearthing some of the great young talent out there in the league. Let's get this started. One example of these bright young stars is Alphonso Davies. He became the youngest goal scorer in USL history. The USL saw a number of internationals make an impact in 2016. Perhaps the most notable is St. Louis FC's Irvin Herrera of El Salvador. One of the memorable matches of the year took place on July 20th. The New York Red Bulls 2 defeated host FC Cincinnati as late goals by Justin Villieu and Florian Velo lifted New York to the road win. Although Arizona United SC did not see the playoffs, the team provided highlight reel moments. Trailing by a goal against the Real Monarchs, a simple three-touch move provided the impetus for the side to take a thrilling 3-2 victory. Chris Tierpak's top corner strike against Tulsa Roughnecks FC provided the biggest highlight of a stretch run that saw the Rangers win 6 of the last 7 regular season games to book a playoff spot. Trailing by 2 goals, 20 minutes to go. Standout midfielder Ricardo Velasco earned the visitors one of the most remarkable wins of the season, 3-2 win in stoppage time. The USL made history when it became the first professional league in the world to use a video assistant referee in a competitive contest. Head referee Ismail Elfaf didn't have to wait long to bring the system into use. A red card incident in the 34th minute saw Orlando defender Connor Donovan receive his marching orders. Nashville SC was unveiled as the newest USL side for the 2018 season in May, with a local investment group led by David Dill, Marcus Whitney, and Chris Redhog leading the way. FC Cincinnati's first season in the USL was marked not only by stellar play on the field, but a massive reception from the local community. More than 30,000 would pack the house in their first playoff match, cementing Cincinnati as one of the budding soccer locales in the USL and all of North America. Sean Okoli, with a scissor kick finish, landed at the number 4 position on ESPN Sports Center Top 10. What a season. Look forward to many more memories ahead. This is Max Bredos from our ESPN Sports Center studios. Enjoy the second half.
When we come back, I'll be joined by USL President Jake Edwards, who will share some breaking news about the league. You are watching the 2016 USL Cup Final, presented by Nike.
Welcome back to Red Bull Arena. The score at halftime, New York Red Bulls 2-2, Swope Park Rangers 0. And there's so much positive momentum for the United Soccer League. For more, let's join Heather Mitz and her special guest, USL President Jake Edwards.
Jake, it's been an exciting year for the USL. What news do you have for us?
Well, there's been a lot of speculation lately about teams potentially joining our league. So I'm pleased to say that some of those rumors are true. Next week we'll be announcing a couple of teams that will be joining the USL for the 2017 season. So very excited about that. Two really strong sides, and they'll be joining Reno, who will also be coming into the league for 2017. So we're very excited about next year. A couple of really great clubs. We'll build upon this partnership with ESPN. We'll launch our new USL Productions in full, where we'll be broadcasting all of the 500+ games ourselves next year, and a whole host of new things coming. So 17 will be a very exciting year, but stay tuned for next week when we announce some of these new teams coming on board.
Okay, we will. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Heather Mitz and Jake Edwards will be back with the second half. The score, New York Red Bulls 2-2, Swope Park Rangers 0. You're watching the 2016 USL Cup Final, presented by Nike on ESPNU. New York 2, Swope Park 0, and Heather Mitz stands by with Swope Park Rangers head coach Mark Dos Santos.
Coach, your team struggled offensively. What do you need to do to create more chances?
Yeah, we struggled a lot playing out of the back. They put us under a lot of pressure, and deservedly they're 2-0 up. Now in the second half, we need to make sure we're better when we get out with the ball from our half and make sure that we're just cleaner in the last third. But I think if we get one goal after that, anything could happen.
What did you tell your team at half?
To believe. We've done it playing against 9, and we've already proven that we could do something spectacular. We just need one goal.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Heather. Mike Watts with Kate Markgraf. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. The Red Bulls forcing turnovers and getting in the attack.
Well, that's what they're known for, and Pasher this time is the victim. We get to see the quick play to Allen and Etienne. Look, he picks his head up, able to see where Zendejas is, and bends it around the keeper again. Tight control. Vidic too far off. I'm not able to shut down the shot.
The Red Bulls a 1-goal lead, and they double it in the 39th minute.
Again, on that flank, dominating side. I love that Brandon Allen pulled himself out, was patient, and was able to put away. MVP candidate for Offensive Player of the Year, makes it 2-0.
He may be a USL Cup playoff MVP. Derek Etienne putting himself in that spot as well. Swope Park starts with the ball in the blue and black jerseys. The affiliate of Sporting Kansas City taking on the New York Red Bulls 2 in this, the USL Cup final presented by Nike. And already a little burst of energy to start the half from a Swope Park team that makes one change at the half. Emmanuel Apia comes out, Tomas Granito comes on.
Yeah, Apia, I think, really struggled, wasn't able to shut down the passing channels, wasn't able to disrupt play, and was dispossessed one too many times, so Granito comes in. He'll sit more as a shield in front of the back four. It won't be two flat midfielders in the base of the triangle. It'll now be Granito sitting back a little bit more, and Ayrton able to push up.
Red Bulls attacking towards the ruckus South Ward. The Viking army has arrived. The plan was for many supporters of New York Red Bull to go to the game in Philadelphia, where New York had a chance to see Bradley Wright Phillips win the Golden Boot, and then rush back to Harrison to catch their team potentially lift a playoff trophy for the first time in franchise history. Comes to Mara. And Ryan Mara said it in the pregame interview with Heather Mitz, it's hard to get to this point. It's hard to get to a final. And once you're there, you really want to take advantage of the opportunity because you don't know when you're going to get back. You won a city title with Fordham Prep, a couple of state titles with Yonkers United. He hasn't lifted a playoff trophy since.
Well, I think it's just a tale of two different seasons. It's such a different requirement what you need to win in playoff because you're one and done compared to consistent performances in order to win a regular season.
Below, bounces towards Metzger, didn't get that. Adams rushing up and a sliding stop by Duke. 48th minute, New York Red Bulls 2 defending now, and that's a great piece of work. Dane Kelly, one of the slyest foxes in all the league, is outwitted that time by the central defender, Aaron Long.
That was a great first touch, just basically bypassed and used the momentum against Dane Kelly, able to thwart that counterattack.
Comes to Bezecourt, attack on for New York. Johnny Grant really laid into him, and he's able to collect the ball and clear it out in the midfield line. And this is a Swope Park team that's really struggled in the midfield, and it's no wonder why they're missing so many key players. Walefi is out, Nancel Sellable suspended, Tommy Meyer suspended, Kevin Oliveda is out, and the leading scorer from this team in the early first 10-15 games, Daniel Shaloi, is out. He's a 19-year-old homegrown who went to Hungary. You're missing a ton of pieces for this Swope Park group. It's amazing that they've gotten to this point.
Well, the key contributors, especially Walefi, at the end of the season, declared an ACL tear on Monday. That is a huge hit in that midfield because to me, that is where Red Bull still is dominating this game, where they're setting play, where they're staging the attack, but more importantly, they're able to win the ball with their defensive press and attack in a dangerous territory.
Swope Park effectively breaks the press this time around. Alvarado, got some Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League time as well. It's Duke. The second clearance is the charm for New York. Team in their second season. Last year finished fourth in the Eastern Conference, went to the semifinals. Marius Obakop was their leading scorer. He's out of the equation, and you think about all the young talent that New York has and all that Ollie Curtis and Jesse Marsh have done to promote this team. This really is a pathway to professional soccer. If you want to play in New York, the USL is the legitimate option to take as the ball clipped away by Velo.
Absolutely, it really is the testing ground for those players that have MLS dreams.
Long run here. Shot across the face of goal by Johnny Grant and out for a corner. What better experience is there? Two programs with winning mentalities playing in a championship final. Swope Park's got a long way to go. They have an injured player in the middle of the 18-yard box.
Trying to get a clear visual on who that might be. Lots of players crowding around him. And slow to get up is Ayrton.
It out. Pasher, such a tremendous story he is. Pasher will throw, instead seeds to Alvarado, and you can hear a lot of excitement from this team trying to keep the ball moving in the right direction, and the combination play doesn't work out.
Yeah, Tyler Pasher said, was he saying, I was working in my dad's contracting shop.
He was doing steel construction for residential homes. 12-hour days, waking up at 5 a.m., and now he's got the number 77 shirt for Swope Park Rangers. It's one of the really shocking turnarounds, and he said that when you look at this group, this team should be inspiring to anyone who wants to play pro soccer at any level. He's certainly inspiring in his own right.
But it speaks to what Ryan Mira was saying from the Red Bulls, Ryan Mara, because he was saying we all appreciate this opportunity. Even Aaron Long said, even if the first team were to come and ask me to play with them, I wouldn't want to go.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. I want to be here with this team. It's such an honor and a privilege to have the chance to compete for the USL crown.
And there's nothing like winning silverware, is there? As Alvarado tackled by Brandon Allen in the 52nd minute. You've won a fair amount of medals over the course of your career, too.
That's the best thing in the world. So it just validates all the hard work. You're rewarded for all the sacrifice that you've done, and something that you love to do, but it is still a sacrifice. And all these players are banged up. Dos Santos said that there isn't one player here that doesn't have some type of nagging injury. It's a physical league. It's a high-quality league. It's a long season.
Ayrton, left-footed strike, and that's off frame. And a rare shot from Swope Park, who haven't been able to direct much in that general area. The 2016 USL Cup final being brought to you by SiriusXM, Labatt's Blue, and by Nike. Red Bulls a 2-0 lead over Swope Park Rangers, two MLS-owned and operated franchises. The expansion year for Swope Park, the second year for New York, and it appears, well, one thing is for sure, an MLS-owned and operated franchise will win the USL for the first time in its history. Dane Kelly offside.
Ooh, that was a close call on that offside. That's what Dane Kelly is looking for. That was the type of service that Dane Kelly has received before that got them back into the game when they were down to 9 men.
You heard Mark Dos Santos say at halftime, we have to believe. We've been in a back against the wall scenario before, as below, this will bounce out to Dane Kelly. And there's plenty of numbers on the far side for Swope Park if they can get it there. Grant for Tierpak. Can he catch up? He does. Look for Kelly.
Excellent positioning by Long, but not only that, the ability to clear it with that much distance, bypassing complete front line, and even the ones that were sitting a little bit below of SPR.
And this will get out for a Swope Park goal kick. And this season for New York, it's like a great opera, isn't it? It's a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a terrific sound from the very beginning all the way to the USL Cup final, and they're just looking for that last big finale.
Well, they really have had a great season. Broke the goal-scoring record, was one shy of the shutout record for the USL. Credit John Walniak, 41 different players that has suited up for Red Bulls Tool. He's had to manage the lineup. He's had to manage injuries, call-ups. He's done a fantastic job.
There's O'Toole, anxious to learn, is what Ryan Mara said about us when we met with him yesterday, about the young O'Toole. He'll go up against Tierpak here. Duke. Kelly. Pasher streaking down the center. Long sticks his foot in. Comes to Tierpak. Can't get a clean touch, but he'll recover in the corner. Service. Pasher! Punched away by Ryan Mara. Attack still on. This launch through the 18. Comes to Tierpak, and he launches that out of play. A fine thought, but couldn't execute.
Oh, just excellent change. There's ball. Look at Mara. Excellent. Coming off his line, reading the service the entire time, not disrupted or distracted by the on-rushing attacker. Look at that. A strong hand, too, to deflect it out of danger. But right now, Red Bulls Tool are getting stretched a little bit. Their back line is dropping off too much, creating that pocket of space in the midfield. And SPR grabbing the ball, then pushing out wide, finding Tierpak. If Tierpak is allowed to get into this game, he can hurt you, whether he's getting on the recipient on the end of crosses or whether he's going for the shot himself.
And if you think about crosses, one open field cross in the entire first half for Swope Park. They now have 3 in the second half, and Pasher helping to create as Kelly couldn't keep it for Swope Park, and the Red Bulls trying to get ahead. Baldo got there. It's one thing to have bad service, it's another thing to have no service at all, and that was the issue for Swope Park in the first half.
Yeah, but look at, they're already pressing a little bit higher now. They're applying pressure on the flanks a little bit higher, and also their outside wingbacks are pressing on the flanks. They're a little bit too central, and that's pushing Etienne to defend a little bit, as well as below.
Walefi, pardon, Ayrton, something over. The New York Red Bulls have arrived. Dax McCarty, the captain, as the MLS side for this New York organization, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, defeating Philadelphia Union 2-0 as Bradley Wright Phillips wraps up his Golden Boot Award. And we talked about it a few moments ago, but the pathway to pro, it's not just you start as academy, then your USL, then your MLS, and there's no combination between them. Dax McCarty's tweeting, fans need to come out and support this team.
That's fantastic. That integration between first and second teams.
Bounces over Tierpak, he slides. It'll only be a throw for Red Bulls too.
But to go back to that, I love Ryan Mara told us that we have fantasy football drafts together. And that is proof of the pudding. A lot of people say, oh, we're really, really close, but no one ever really means it. These people are competing for your jobs. You actually feel that there's a connection between Red Bulls and Red Bulls too.
Tierpak, out over Duke, comes all the way to Pasher. Pasher rounding off his run. Gets it back from Granito and turns it over. The Red Bulls a chance to go 3-on-3. It's Allen. Starts a vertical run now. Plays out to Bezecourt, and he overplayed him. Grant following him into the corner. 59th minute, 2-0 to New York Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, it was a pretty slow buildup. Originally, I thought that was going to be a much faster counterattack, but it was almost like Allen was weighing his options, and if I'm going to hit a through ball, I'm going to most likely hit Etienne, who's a little bit faster than Bezecourt.
It's a little bit faster than everyone on the field, it seems, right?
Well, also because Bezecourt was going against Grant, the right back from SPR. He's a little bit faster.
This is a teasing ball to Kelly. Kick back to Ryan Mara, who will pick it up, and the defense for New York stands up again, and it's the central pairing of Carroll and Long coming together again. This is a Swope Park team that needs to find a spark. They've gotten the ball forward, but now they need to find a way to get it in the net and lessen this lead for New York. Handball against Swope Park.
We were talking about that spark, and we're seeing one on the bench getting some talking to, and Mark Anthony Gonzalez. We get to see another look at what happened here. Ayrton doesn't know it's coming. He does put his foot up, but I don't think it's intentional. I think he's just trying to control the ball. Look, he doesn't even know it's coming to him. And the excellent defensive hustle. By Red Bulls too.
When we spoke with Mark Dos Santos, he said Mark Anthony Gonzalez, his dad's a magician. What trick will he perform for his hamstring to make sure he can play tonight? I don't know what trick he chose, but as he comes on for Ayrton, he is ready to go.
Yeah, I thought he was just being cagey, but when he reiterated again in our meeting with him yesterday, as Gonzalez is getting his hammy work done behind us, Gonzalez just starts laughing the entire time.
I asked Tierpak, I go, what's it like playing with Mark Anthony Gonzalez? He goes, oh, he's great. He's sitting 5 feet away laughing.
But they need a little bit of a change. He comes in, he's gonna play underneath Dane Kelly, and then look, as we see now, for that pocket. A lot like Bezecourt is doing, a lot like Etienne doing, he does the same thing.
Bounces away from below. Here's Alvarado for Swope Park. Pasher. Played away from Duke. Pasher splaying out past below. And he had Etienne going the wrong direction. Terrific move by Gonzalez, fresh off the bench. Sends across, into Kelly. Well, that's a wake-up call for Swope Park, isn't it? Ball though from Pasher. Pasher is going to give this a shot across. And offside, the save by Mara wouldn't have counted anyways.
The question is it offside? You can see Pasher. I think he's onside when that service is kicked. I think he's absolutely onside. I think number 17 kept him on.
Heather Mitz stands by with Jesse Marsh, the MLS head coach of the New York Red Bulls.
Jesse, today was decision day. 2-0 win over the Union. You stopped by here on the way back into town. Why is it important for your team to be here supporting the Red Bulls too?
Well, we all, as soon as the game was over, we were thinking about racing back here. We had a lot of families come down here, but, you know, speaking of families, this club is a big family. And, you know, we're all really proud of this Red Bull 2 team. There's a lot of first-team players on this team. There's a lot of guys who train with us every day. So the connection we've built in this club to make sure that these two teams are truly under one roof has been special. And so it would be a big moment for our club now if this team could survive and keep going and find a way to win this championship.
Are there any guys that you have your eye on here tonight?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of guys. You know, I mean, there's obviously all the MLS guys, but we think that the 2 French guys, which are Florian Vallot and Vincent Biscourt, have been very good this year. Dan Metzger's had a great year in the midfield. I think Zach Carroll has been good in the back. But, you know, I mean, again, we're just so proud of the fact that the team looks like the first team, that there's a true identity throughout the club, and it's a special place to be right now.
I'm sure they appreciate your support. Congratulations and good luck.
Thanks so much, Heather.
Thanks for joining us.
It's Jesse Marsh. Good. This will bounce back to Ryan Mara. And Jesse Marsh and Ollie Curtis came in here, and a lot of Red Bulls fans were not happy about it, but they had a plan for every single player in this organization. They wanted to connect from the academy forward, and Ollie Curtis and Jesse Marsh have really made sure that this USL team is the direct route into the Red Bulls organization at the MLS level.
Well, actually, give credit to Rob Elliott. He's the head of scouting for the New York Red Bulls. Bob Montgomery, the academy directors, numerous academy players that get brought up, and the integration from top to bottom, and the open door policy that John Woliak talked about, the conversation with Jesse Marth, all together, that framework and that foundation that they have here is the platform from which they're launching the success of this team.
Dane Kelly into space, has Tierpak on his right. That's a terrific move. He'll shoot. That's the 6th shot for Swope Park Rangers in the second half. The Red Bulls have yet to take an effort towards target.
And look at Dane Kelly, the explosion. He cuts it across the game of Carroll, across his top foot, and the ball just gets away from him, slices it a little bit.
And we talk about New York Red Bulls and how much they turn things together, but Mark Dos Santos told us this week, Peter Vermeese's office, about 5 meters away, they talk every single day about these players and how they move forward. And that's kind of the key to this whole MLS owned and operated concept within this league. It doesn't work unless you know that there's a future for you, and both these teams are making it pretty clear that you can be extraordinarily successful this way. Kevin O'Toole coming off. On comes Conrad Pleva, perhaps the most interesting story in the entire USL this year, as the academy player comes off. Terrific work by O'Toole. Pleva suffered a stroke on the ride back from Richmond, Virginia, playing in a game on August 6th. Went to his home, couldn't feel his face or his arm, and was able to call for help. And then he's already back on the field 2.5 months later.
I think that really is what brought this team together, as well as with the first team, that integration.
This launched across by Velo.
And it just speaks to the character of this organization about it truly being a family. They were wearing shirts, the entire first team was tweeting about it, and it really tied together the locker room so that when they hit the bumps, when they were struggling against Louisville in the first half, they had that tight framework from which they could draw confidence and self-belief that this collective effort could bring the team back.
And when they needed someone in penalties against Rochester, 3 months nearly to the day, he scores the game-winning penalty. Here's Bezecourt, one of the aforementioned players by Jesse Marsh, who really stood out this year. Setting up a shot that's just wide. David Najem really uncorking that from distance.
The academy player, Najem, not only has a well-timed tackle, but is able to get his feet set so quickly. Just gets it wrong at the last second.
He's already got that assist here tonight on that Brandon Allen goal, which came in the 39th minute. Moved the lead to 2-0 after the 18th minute effort by this man, Derek Etienne Jr., trying to play Allen. It's Christian Duke to deal with that New York Red Bull 2 pressure. Loud night here in Red Bull Arena, and we spoke with Mark Dos Santos, the head coach for Swope Park. He said, when we're at home, we feel invincible. But we don't really know what it's like to be on the road in the playoffs. We don't think we'll be intimidated. I'm intimidated, and I'm sitting 6 floors up.
That's just incredible. And not only that, it's almost like a 12th man when you have the fan support. It gives you that extra energy. This is their 3rd game. The previous 2 went into overtime, went to PKs, physically and emotionally exhausting. And that is just a great energy boost to have that and hear that for 90 minutes.
Adams goes down. Dane Kelly, the guilty man. Kelly dealing with injuries throughout the course of this year, but got up now to 48 career regular season USL goals. That's most of anyone in the USL era.
Imagine how much more dangerous he would be. He came in a little bit injured, not 100% fit, grew as the season went on. But had he been healthy, imagine the damage he could have done.
Dane Kelly, 6 goals this year, and the team 6-0-0 when he scores. Didic. Zendejas. Turns it over. Etienne may have a chance from distance. The give and go breaks down from below. Well, that was nearly golden for Derek Etienne Jr. to bag a brace.
Well, Etienne so unselfish there. We'll get back to that in a second.
Flag stays down. Dane Kelly driving in. The shot. Carroll is able to keep him off the pace, and he curls that wide.
We'll get to see this. Etienne, unselfish, and look at the pull by Djidic. That thwarts Etienne. Etienne obviously upset, rightly incensed. And I think Djidic has struggled tonight. I don't think he can handle the pace of Etienne. Something Dos Santos said, you know, he doesn't have a lot of speed, so he positions himself perfectly. But I think him dropping off is creating gaps of space in the first half. In the second half, we saw it right there, and he's lucky he didn't get called.
And Derek Etienne is no ordinary player, one of the 20 under 20 in the USL that Nicholas Murray and Charlie Core and the USLsoccer.com staff put together this year, and very high up the list as well. He's got all the physical tools, that's for sure. 7 in white, could find himself playing a lot more for New York, the MLS level, in not too long a time. Let's find a gem. Here's Ballo, the more athletic half. He said, Dos Santos, this week, if you combine Ballo and Djidic, you've got a European center back. The speed and the placement.
A little Victor Frankenstein style.
Yeah, that's right. Alvarado finding Duke. He couldn't return the favor. Pasher keeping it. Swope Park trying to get back in the mix here in the 72nd minute, down 2.
That's a card. That's a good call by the referee.
Pasher going down.
Metzger studs up the entire time. Get to see a look at this. Totally studs up, doesn't even get the ball on Pasher. Goes straight for the ankles. Does he mistime it? A little bit mistimed, but the fact that he went studs up and the angle in which he approached it, he wasn't trying to stop the forward progression of the ball. He was going straight for the ball and the player.
12 fouls for New York, just 4 by Swope Park. And there's Tyler Pasher in a great article on KansasCity.com, bottom from Sam McDowell this week, but was noticed by Philip Dos Santos, the brother of Mark Dos Santos, in the youth national team system in Canada. Canadian players qualify as domestic within this league, interestingly enough. But Pasher still being worked on, and that was a really ugly tackle.
That's a nasty tackle. What I don't like is I don't like seeing the trainer move his fingers up his shin, because they're testing to see if it possibly is more than just a sprain. Could it be something else? Another look at this. Najem has, look at that, as straight studs. You see the ankle of Pasher. After seeing it, and obviously we're benefited by slow-mo, that is a yellow, that's like an orange type of call. It's almost...
Out of beautiful Dripping Springs, Texas. Barton Pasher out of Elmira, Canada. Playoff high 3 assists. He had 1 assist the whole year. This bounces in and past Mara. Swope Park responds immediately, and it's 2-1.
Well, the substitute gets the goal that Dos Santos said that they needed to give themselves a fighting chance to get back into it.
Ballo, 74th minute.
A bent ball in. Did it take a deflection? That's not, I don't think that's Ballo. I think that's just a little, I think it's Granito, and it takes a little bit of deflection.
How about Pasher back in the game, involved finding Alvarado. Running over Velo. This launch from way outside, and it's held by Mara. That could have been interesting. And it was Granito who took that effort. He's all over the place so far, Tomas Granito.
Well, you have to be, because he's a substitute. You needed those fresh legs. and he came in, and I think he solidified that middle, sitting in those channels, more of a holding center mid.
Played midweek in Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, and he made the best 11 for the week in that competition. Perfect step in by Carroll. Comes to Etienne. The Red Bulls' position much more in question now than it was. Etienne getting to the byline and deflects it off Ballo.
Excellent little piece of skill, and even though it didn't end up with a cross, it also kind of ended the pressure that Red Bulls still have been under. Gives his team time to reset.
So a corner for New York. It's Bezecourt. Comes to Pasher. That's not very convincing. Carroll tried to spin it back. Here's Grant. New York, 2 goals in the first 40 minutes for Red Bulls 2. Swope Park storming back now. Red Bulls retreating back to midfield. Adams playing Mara. Red Bulls have conceded plenty in this playoff run. All the shutouts they had in the regular season, and they've given up 4 goals in the last 2 games. Tierpak went high, and a foul against man in blue and black.
Another look, Tierpak jumps a bit early, and it's the arm swing around that has the Red Bulls' 2 teammates in arms, up in arms. It's fair. Didn't look like there was any reason to swing his arm back. That wasn't like his momentum from a bit of body contact turned his body. This is what the Red Bulls 2 need to do. They need to get back to their game plan if they're going to hold on to this league. Those quick interchange of passing, the movement that they had off the ball was so impressive in the first half, such high quality. If they're able to do that, they're going to get on the ball more. Right now, the difference between the first half and the second half is SPR made some changes, has figured out how to play against it, and is starting to grow more into this game.
Adams. Hit by Grant. Swope Park, the 4th seed in the Western Conference, trying to be the lowest seed to win a USL championship. The Red Bulls, the regular season title winners, they're trying to be the 2nd team to win a double. Bezecourt chips it wide. Etienne, and play brought back. It's offside.
Yeah, Etienne is mad he didn't get that service earlier from Bezecourt. Bezecourt was looking to the right side. Took a bit long for him to look to the other side as well. Etienne was onside.
This going from Pasher to Tierpak. Tierpak curls it. Pasher the target. Lofted up. Mara. 6'4", and boy, that really worked out for him there. He had Marc-Anthony Gonzalez on the doorstep, the 6-foot even Canadian.
Yeah, but he was so quick off his line, though.
Last year's USL final between Rochester and LA Galaxy 2 going to extra time. 2 late goals by Asani Samuels. Could we have more late fireworks? And the physical play continues. Swope Park making a run forward, aimed at Gonzalez and stepping in. Red Bulls looking a little sloppy here of late.
Well, the increased pressure from SPR. It's forcing now turnover, something that Red Bulls 2 did to Swope Park Rangers in the first half.
Below, great first touch, plays it in, looking for Bezecourt. He could have gone for Etienne as well. Pasher laying in Dan Metzger. And that is a return tackle from the previous yellow card.
But not nearly as vicious or nasty.
As a player, you remember those, right? You remember who it was? Maybe you don't think about it in the heat of the moment, but...
Oh, I absolutely thought about it. I think every player does. You remember where that player is, and if there's ever a chance at a 50-50 ball, you're going to make sure you're going a little extra hard.
And that's what made Kate Markgraf a world champion.
No, it's 10 other players.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The 2016 USL Cup final is being brought to you by SiriusXM, Labatt's Blue, and by Nike. Red Bulls 2, Swope Park 1, 81st minute. A sub waiting to come on for New York is Stefano Bonomo. Florian Velo on his way off. Florian Velo getting a big round of applause. He's one of the local ones out of Ryder. And the French international really standing out yet again.
He did have a great shift this game. Add a bit of physicality, very good with the ball. You could see that connection he had with Bezecourt. And they bring on Bonomo, who is big, athletic, but he's also a dynamic workhorse. So he's going to put in the defensive work with his fresh legs.
Etienne against Grant. The official leaves his arms outstretched, nothing to be called. Kelly trying to hold up play for Swope Park. Comes to Adams. Jidic will let Adrian Zendejas handle it. Began the season with Tijuana, was signed in July, the goalkeeper for Swope Park. Play coming all the way back. They're looking for a throw. And it belongs to Swope Park. Maybe no surprise, but Bonomo for Velo, it's a like-for-like move. You're going right wing for right wing. You're keeping the pressure up, which is the New York Red Bull way.
But right now the game is lacking so much rhythm because of all the fouls. It's actually taking away from both teams' play. Part of it's frustration and tiredness. But if I'm Swope Park Rangers, I'm going to want to limit the needless fouls that are occurring because it's just hurting them as they've grown into the second half.
9 fouls between these two teams in the second half. It's been physical. Bezecourt, Allen, and boy, Jidic had to be perfect, and he was.
What a well-timed tackle. SPR sending so many numbers forward in search of that game-tying goal, leaving themselves a bit exposed in the back. Jidic waited just for that moment where it left the attacker's foot, was able to clear it away from danger.
Allen retreating. possessed. Here's Bonomo. What a spin move that is. Bonomo slides it, and Etienne, it's knocked away by Zendejas, still loose in the box, and it gets towards the byline, still loose. Bonomo turns, Etienne slid away, it's Allen! Could the brace by Allen bring a trophy to New York Red Bulls 2? They're up by 2 in the 85th. Amidst the chaos, Zendejas can't do enough.
Well, the substitute Bonomo made all the difference in the lead up this play. Unable to clear it, Zendejas goes over the line, but it goes over the line. They stop playing defense, but Red Bulls 2 stays onto it. And again, we talked about Brandon Allen's ability to be at the right place at the right time. He doesn't get caught in the play. He doesn't get sucked in ball watching. He always pulls himself out in the most likely position where the ball will bounce down to. And again, he picks his corner and slots it away with that left foot.
Brandon Allen's got his second of the night. MLS history in his family. R.J. Allen, a standout in Major League Soccer as it's picked up by Ryan Mara.
And just the body language of SPR right now, that back line, when that ball went in, the entire back line dropped down their knees. Zendejas, the goalkeeper, was slow to get up. This is a team that has come back being 9 men down. They did not display that same type of body language trying to fight that uphill battle. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back, but I don't know if they have that self-belief.
Here's Kelly, right-footed rip. Doesn't make Mara do any work there. A reminder at the conclusion of tonight's game here on ESPNU. Tune over to ESPN3 to watch our 2016 USL Cup final presented by Nike post-game show. We have the trophy and MVP presentations, post-game interviews, the complete wrap of the 2016 USL Cup final. Again, that's tonight, ESPN3, at the conclusion of our game. Alvarado, taken away. New York on the run out. Najem plays Bezecourt. Tried to leave it for Etienne, who spins around. He's got it again. Etienne pushed by Jidic. And this is more what you expect when you're up too late. Kept in by Bonomo. Tries to lay it off. A hat trick, yes! Brandon Allen does it again. And New York Red Bulls may well be hoisting tonight.
You thought the Red Bulls were going to hold it in the corner, but Bonomo had different plans. Gets end line, picks somebody's pocket, puts his head up, and again finds Brandon Allen so good at curling the ball with pace and power around a diving Zendejas.
6 postseason goals by Brandon Allen. 3 in the match. 39th, 85th. May be the haymaker in the 88th. Subs coming on, Akil Barrett. He'll replace Johnny Grant. And this, well-deserved applause for Brandon Allen.
Absolutely just an incredible performance. His play in the playoffs matched his superior level that he had of performances in the regular season.
Bezecourt There's some pushing and shoving going on. Tierpak still going at it. Etienne down the other way for New York.
What I loved about all that with Tierpak as he's slowly losing his head against Aaron Long was it was Tyler Adams, the youngster, the one trying to cool his head.
17 years old. 17 years old. Launched towards Kelly. Laid away. Akil Barrett, the service off the bench. And a whistle against New York Red Bulls, too. Zendejas running up to try and keep play moving.
Well, it's in a very similar spot that SPR scored from last time. Actually, it's just a little bit more central, where Granito stepped up and was able to bend it around and get into the mix against Mira. This time, Milano takes it.
Mara trying to get there. Bounced out. And a goal kick for New York. 3 minutes of added time, separating New York's 3-goal lead from being the winning margin. Swope Park Rangers, the affiliate of Sporting Kansas City, and they have one of the great USL stories with Dom Dwyer, one of the great goal scorers in Major League Soccer, coming out of Orlando City. He scored 4 goals in a final for Orlando City. Brandon Allen, second most in a final history in the USL with his hat trick tonight. Swope Park had outscored opponents 5-0 in the second half for overtime in the playoff run. Trailing 2-1 in the second half here tonight. Played in by Etienne, it's Bezecourt! That's a 5th. Vincent Bezecourt, 3 assists in the postseason, and he opens his scoring account in the second minute of stoppage time.
You're winning 4-1 in stoppage time. Most teams hold it in the corner, but with Bonomo's insertion into the lineup, he holds on the ball, is able to find Etienne out wide. But look at this touch, and he already knew where he was going. He's gonna bend it in behind the back line to Bezecourt, who pulled away from the defender, had timed his run, and just a composed finish against Zendejas.
Bezecourt's 7th of the year. Orlando City once scored 7 in a USL Cup final. That record likely won't be broken tonight, but New York all over it here tonight. And one final sub, it appears, for New York. 5 subs available for each team. Derek Etienne Jr. The go-ahead goal in the 18th minute gives way to Benjamin Mines, the 16-year-old academy midfielder. How about below and Bezecourt? He gets the shout-out from Jesse Marsh during the game.
The French connection?
Yeah.
With Etienne balancing it out on the other side. Just an impressive midfield performance for this team.
There are a lot of MVP candidates. We'll find out who wins it on ESPN3 immediately following the conclusion of the game. Flip over and join us as the trophy will be handed out to the New York Red Bulls 2. New York, 5 goals, 3 in the second half. Defeat Swope Park Rangers. They're the 2016 USL Cup final champions.
13-game unbeaten streak extends to 14, and this is the best one. They're going to host the USL Championship crown.
Already regular season champions, and now USL Cup champions. John Wolniak, 41 different players. Couldn't keep the same lineup together 2 games in a row more than twice all year. And now tonight, his team, they hoist the USL Cup, what may be a precursor to a long postseason run, the MLS side for New York Red Bulls as well.
It's incredible that they were, excuse me, able to do that.
And they did it all year long. Records for wins, records for points, goals scored, one off the shutout mark. This team in all phases dominated the entire season. It's truly one of the remarkable stories in the history of this league.
And they celebrate collectively that expanded roster.
What's this moment like? Because you've hoisted trophies before. What's this moment right after the game feel like on the winning side? And Swope Park players laying on the ground, it's tough for them too.
There's no better feeling in the world, and it's even enhanced when you get to do it with people that you love and that you get to play with.
New York Red Bulls get a hat trick from Brandon Allen. They'll hoist the USL Cup championship trophy. 5-1 the final. New York Red Bulls 2 are the USL Cup champions, and hat trick scorer Brandon Allen stands by with Heather Mitz.
Brandon with the hat trick, how did that feel?
It's amazing. I mean, it's been a hard-fought year all season, and I think to come away with today's win is such a relief, and to hold the trophy at the end is an amazing feeling.
What do you attribute your success this season to?
My teammates have been there for me throughout the whole season. The coaching staff has been great, especially the older guys. Brad, I've been looking up to him a lot, and you know that's been helping us with the reserve. So I think it's a good spot for us.
Congratulations, go celebrate.
Thank you.
Brandon Allen, 3 goals, 39th minute, 85th, and 88th. Back with Kate Markgraf. And Kate, how does this feel as a player? Must be tremendous.
It does feel tremendous, but you know what? It's a culmination of a season of hard work, tactics that work, and buy into the collective system.
Tune in to ESPN3 to watch our 2016 USL Cup final presented by Nike postgame show with the championship trophy and the MVP presentation. Once again, our 2016 USL champions, the New York Red Bulls 2. Technical facilities provided by Vista WorldLink. For Kate Markgraf, Heather Mitz, our executive producer Michael Cohen, associate director Bill Erbsman, associate producer Cameron Norris. I'm Mike Watts. Good night from Red Bull Arena. Welcome to ESPN3's coverage of the 2016 USL Cup final presented by Nike postgame show. Coming up, we'll have our championship trophy and MVP presentations, postgame interviews, and a complete wrap-up of the 2016 USL Cup final. Mike Watts back with Kate Markgraf, Heather Mitz along in a moment, and the New York Red Bulls experiencing such tremendous excitement. Tears from fans who have never seen a playoff trophy hoisted by this organization. It happens tonight.
And they were so supportive. You could hear them all game long. And this is the team that has dominated the regular season, struggled a bit in playoff in terms of putting away opponents, having to go to double overtime and PKs in order to get to this final, but tonight was a different story.
It always takes that one game, that one turning point, and maybe there were two for the Red Bulls, because going to penalties 2 games in a row really tested their mettle, and they came out tonight and they looked like the better team from the opening whistle.
Absolutely. They played on the front foot. They took it to them. They're known for their high press, but the collective spacing that they had to force turnovers in dangerous areas is key for this team, and they were able to do it effectively tonight.
New York Red Bulls 2, the USL affiliate of the New York Red Bulls, who are the #1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference. It's a winning mentality from top to bottom. A 5-1 victory over the Swope Park Rangers. Brandon Allen a hat trick. Derek Etienne Jr. scoring early. John Wolniak asked to do so much over the course of this season. All the player management, it's not just personality for him. I don't think any coach in the history of soccer has had to deal with as many lineup changes as him.
And the way that he was able to manage players and to maintain their confidence and buffer it is impressive. We talked to Aaron Long, and he said, you know, when you know you're not playing, he pulls you aside and he tells you why. And yeah, the player's mad initially, but then you figure out why, and like, oh, that makes sense. So whenever he made a decision, of course you're not gonna be happy about it if you're not playing. They understood why, because he was excellent. He was able to communicate it in a way that got buy-in.
It helps when you push all the right buttons literally the entire season. And John Wolniak, the Fordham alum from the Bronx, New York, the New York Red Bulls draft pick. He spent time playing throughout the country, including a USL championship in Rochester for the Raging Rhinos. And he comes back to Red Bull New York to finish his playing career and as a coach. He has led them back to the promised land at the USL level in just their 2nd year of existence.
What's impressive, though, is the quality of tonight's game, especially in that first half.
As Jake Edwards meeting with the officials.
The 4th official, Henrik Carlson. And the 5th official, Justin Lopez.
Truth be told, Heather, this is a moment that's a bit somber for Swope Park Rangers. They'll go collect runners-up medals, but it doesn't take away anything from the playoff run they had to get here.
No, absolutely not. What they were able to accomplish, go back 2.5 months, sitting in 12th place. No one anticipated this was the team that was going to be here. But you just wonder if they just ran out of steam. They had some injuries, they had some suspensions, they had some call-ups. And those players, you wonder, could have been key contributors to tonight's success for a different outcome.
They finished 10-5-4 over the season's last 2.5 months and fall in the final.
Please again direct your attention to the platform midfield where USL President Jake Edwards will now present the 2016 United Soccer League runner-up medals to the Swope Park Rangers.
Marc Dos Santos, back-to-back years reaching a title game. He led this team well, and the winning mentality of Sporting Kansas City as an organization carries through the same way it does for New York. And there has to be a lot of pride in this moment.
Absolutely. He's a passionate coach. The players love to play for him. He knew exactly how to get the best out of each and every one. They all need to hold their heads up high. They played against, no longer arguably, but one of the best teams and best performances in the finals.
A 5-1 defeat as Jake Edwards, president of the United Soccer League, handing out the medals to the runners-up here at Red Bull Arena. And Walefi, the ACL tear, so many injuries for this team. Oliveira, Myers, and Selbel both suspended. Walefi, perhaps the last straw for a Swope Park team that struggled to keep everybody healthy long enough. Marc Dos Santos, last in line, but a great job done by the head coach last year with Ottawa, now with Swope Park. And now the music playing that will beckon the Red Bulls up to that trophy. Players lining up, get their chance to touch this trophy. Maybe you didn't grow up dreaming about a USL Cup in particular, but you always, always want a trophy.
Absolutely, you dream of playing in the MLS when you're these young players, and this is a pathway to it. But the quality of this league in its 6th year has improved. The infrastructure has improved. In the organizations of the Red Bulls and of Swope Park Rangers with KC, it's top notch. It's almost like they are at the top level in how the MLS includes them.
We go downstairs. Heather Mitz standing by with the USL Cup champion New York Red Bulls.
And I'm standing here with the president of the USL, Jake Edwards. Jake.
Congratulations, Brandon. Tremendous game, fantastic hat-trick. You're this year's 2016 USL Cup Final MVP. Congratulations.
All right, Brandon, 21 goals on the year, 6 in the playoffs, 3 tonight. What does this feel like?
It's an amazing feeling. I wouldn't have this trophy if it wasn't for those guys up there. So they've helped me out throughout the whole season, and they've been a big part of my success.
What was the biggest challenge tonight?
I think just breaking them down, and towards the end, finally, they broke down, and we found chances in front of the back four and created some goals.
And what are you most proud of this entire season?
This trophy right here. No, not the USL trophy, sorry.
Congratulations, enjoy it.
Thank you.
That's Brandon Allen. He deserves both trophies, that's for sure. We take a look at his hat trick. He scores in the 39th, the 85th, and the 88th. It proves to be goals number 2, 3, and 4 in a 5-1 win.
Led the attack all season long, and now in the postseason, what I love is just composure and the fact that he doesn't get drawn into the play, able to hold out. Bonomo, it bounced out again, right place, right time, left foot, bending it around. Zendejas, and the last one, Bonomo, going end line, looking to slot it through. And just a collecting touch so that he can improve his angle and to get the shot that he wants. That composure in the box you can't teach. You're just a natural goal scorer.
And then you get a moment like this, the Georgetown Hoya.
League champion New York Red Bulls 2. And now it's time to award the 2016 United Soccer League Championship Trophy to the New York Red Bulls 2.
USL Cup trophy being hoisted time and time again, and every single player will get their moment. All 41 of them. A long season, the regular season title, and now the 2016 USL Cup belongs to New York Red Bulls too.
And the first MLS owned and operated franchise to win the title.
Ryan Mara carrying it down to the locker room. The celebration in there is going to be just as fun as the celebration out here, right?
Absolutely, but there's lots of academy players, so sparkling cider all around.
Ryan Mara will share this moment with the fans. The South Ward still very much intact. Jesse Marsh and the New York Red Bulls looking on as New York Red Bulls 2 and John Walniak bring postseason glory to Red Bull Arena.
Ryan Mara told us as of yesterday he had 32 friends and family asking for tickets. He anticipated that number was going to go up, but the benefits of dominating in the regular season is that you get to host the USL Championship and to win it at home. There is nothing better than that.
Red Bulls, the #1 overall seed, records in wins, in points, in goals scored. Tonight they score 5. In a 4-game playoff run, they score 13. And the defense holds strong. They allowed 4 goals in the last 2 games. They allow just 1 tonight. And they hold off a Swope Park team that was very much the Cinderella story of the second half of the USL season. An arena that's seen 2 supporters' shields raised into the rafters over the course of the last 4 years. Heather Mitz is standing by with Fordham and New York Red Bull 2 standout Ryan Mara.
Ryan, luckily you didn't have to go into PKs this time. What can you say about your team's performance tonight?
You know, I think that was probably the hardest game we've played all year. Obviously, we were very good in the first half. Second half was a different game. They came out, they were all over us. You know, we bent a bit, but we didn't break. So, you know, I think it really showed a ton of character, how once it went 2-1, we then put our foot on the gas and made it 3-1, 4-1.
Why were you able to have so much success defensively?
I just think from front to back, from Brandon all the way back to me, we defend as a unit. That's one of the things we always harp on. we attack together and we defend together. So when it's 11 guys really committed to defending, you know, I think it's really going to set us up for success.
You're from Yonkers. You had 30-plus family and friends in the stands tonight. So what does tonight's victory mean to you?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, this club means so much to me. I grew up going to Metro Stars games, and then to get drafted by the Red Bulls, and now to, you know, to lift this cup, it really means a lot to me. You know, I think from the academy all through the USL team to the first team, we really have a special thing at this club. And, you know, I think we're only getting started. Now the first team, they got to lift the cup now too. So we're excited. We're really excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mike.
A local product, and whether you're fighting for the crest of your hometown team or your country, Kate, special to win the cup.
Absolutely, in front of your friends and family, and also with your team family. This is a moment they'll never forget. Celebrating, taking the picture, selfie stick included.
Derek Etienne scores in the 18th. Brandon Allen, a hat trick. And Vincent Bezecourt finishes the scoring as John Walniak and the New York Red Bulls 2 defeat Swope Park Rangers 5-1 and take the USL Championship trophy. For Kate Markgraf, Heather Mitz, Michael Cohen, Bill Herbstman, I'm Mike Watts saying so long from Red Bull Arena. The Red Bulls finally winning a playoff trophy. The USL Cup resides in New York. So long from Harrison, New Jersey.